It'll work.
Yes.
Welcome to Hotkeys. This week's show is all about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. We'll be discussing PUBG's 2018 roadmap with Twitch streamer Kate Stark, as well as answering whether Fortnite is pulling ahead of PUBG, and of course, partaking in a trivia challenge. All that and an MSI giveaway is coming right up on this episode of Hotkeys. Kate Stark began streaming in early 2016 and has been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds since well before launch. She placed in the top 10 overall in both the Twitch Winter PUBG Invitational as well as the Twitch Rivals Tournament. She considers herself a variety broadcaster, but enjoys the competition that PUBG has to offer nonetheless.
Oh! I crossbowed them. There's another one.
And here she is, Kate Stark.
Hello.
To discuss PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and specifically, we're going to start out talking about the roadmap. So Bluehole announced their 2018 roadmap, and the first thing, and probably the biggest thing on there, was the 4x4 map, which they plan to roll out. So right off the bat, 4x4, the current map is 8x8,
yeah.
Twice the density. Are you looking forward to playing that?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be fun. I hope, obviously, it's 50 to 25 people. I want it to be a lot smaller than 100.
You don't think it's, I think it's going to be 100.
I really don't. I think if it is, that would be very fun, but it would be a complete mess.
Sure.
I hope that there are shorter lobby times, so it's not the full minute. I think even now it should be shorter lobby times to about 30 seconds. But with the smaller map, I think it's just going to be lots of rounds in very quick succession.
Is more maps better for the game? More maps means potentially splitting the player base.
I think it's probably a good thing. I know that people are going to have issues with it. Personally, I love Erangel. Miramar is a map, but
well, there you go.
I'm not a huge fan of it personally.
Sure.
So I hope that if there's a third map, it's kind of maybe a mix of Erangel terrain and Miramar, where it finds like a happier middle ground. Because some of the stuff on Miramar is obviously totally different than Erangel.
Sure.
There's more water and boat tactics that you
right.
can...
And there's that whole southern island, which creates this like really tense experience.
The bottleneck.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am hoping that it will be variety.
So here's a follow-up to that. Would you prefer, instead of a 4v4 jungle map that's going to be new experience and kind of, make the queue now have a potential of 3 maps, and you're only getting on Erangel 1 out of every 3 games, would you prefer that they go back to Miramar and just kind of sort that out if you feel like it's not in a great place? So I guess that's the question about post-launch content in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is, do we want more or do we want better and refinements? And speaking to Brendan Green, he said they are planning to go make minor tweaks, but nothing like super huge.
Well, it seems like they are, like you said, doing those minor tweaks. Going into Miramar a couple weeks, I think, after the initial launch of it, they were like, oh, we've added a few things. Here's a few more patches of trees. Here's a few more buildings in places that maybe there should have been buildings before. I think I prefer the dense, like north of Mansion on Erangel, that forest that they put in. I love gameplay there because it's so close range and it's so intense. So I'm hoping the jungle map is a lot like that.
Oh,
I
good.
personally, I love that style of gameplay. That's when it's exciting for me.
So this might be awesome. And this could be a scenario as well where the 4v4 map comes out and people love it, and it does become a separate queue. And even though that splits the matchmaking and potentially increases the amount of time to matchmake with 100 people, there's so many people playing the game, I think it's kind of a non-issue.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's move on to the new vehicle, which there is no official explanation of what that will be, but there is a vehicle called the ZIL 313, which is like a semi-truck. It's like a Mack truck. And there were 3 variations, and this was originally shown in July of 2016. There's a flatbed, a canvased, and an armored bed. And I think certainly something that isn't in the game right now, with the exception of maybe the UAS, which is, especially when we talk about bullet penetration in vehicles, it's going to be paper thin. I think it would be an interesting gameplay incentive to see a rare vehicle that has some kind of armor and can take some kind of beating. What are your thoughts to something like that being added to the game?
I think that'd be good. There is the van right now, or the bus on Miramar, which has crazy high HP, but it is such a trash vehicle. So it's like you get one or the other. You get speed and agility, or you get a tank surrounding you, essentially. I think the vehicle you spoke of is probably going to be awesome, but it would have to be super rare, or else people are just going to pile in vehicles.
Sure.
That's just what they're going to do.
Right, especially on console where aim assist is not a thing,
Yeah.
And you're playing on a controller, and hitting somebody out of the vehicle is a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
That was certainly a strategy employed early on, so I agree that it has to be kind of sparse if it's going to be that APC armored personnel carrier vehicle.
Yeah.
But again, that is not official, that is just me doing a little bit of homework. There could be other vehicles. What's one that you would want to see?
I want a tandem bike.
Like a bicycle?
I want a tandem bicycle, or if it's
Sure.
squads, like
Oh
4.
wow, like a 4,
Can you
like
imagine?
a 1960s.
Yeah, yeah. So it's totally silent, so you can like sneak up on houses and you can sneak up on people. But the thing is, it just goes really slow.
Is there a mini game that people have to play when they're in the back of it?
Oh, interesting.
Like a little bit of like a kind of
Yeah,
a rhythm
or you
game?
have to like coordinate
Right.
your pedaling or something.
I think we're onto something here. Let's move on and talk about achievements. This is something that's really interesting. I think we all have those moments in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds where we do something really, really cool, and what we have to show for it is a cool gameplay clip, and that for me is enough, but it would be great to have an achievement, 20 plus kills, especially if that tied into some kind of exclusive aesthetic reward.
Yeah.
What do you want to see out of achievements?
Point systems, basically. Like, we get BP for winning or hit points or kills or whatever, but I would love to see BP to go towards aesthetics. And maybe like,
achievements.
yeah, from achievements. And I'd like to see like gun skins come into the game and stuff like that. So if that could, maybe achievements could go towards stuff like that, that you're not necessarily pulling from crates.
Sure.
I think that could be interesting.
What is not on this roadmap that you really want to see in the game? Is it ranked? Is it something else?
I think ranked could be really good because sometimes depending on who you're playing with, your MMR is just like all over the place. So I think ranked or like more competitive could be really good because sometimes I do want to try hard and I have
Sure.
my little group of friends that we're like, all right, we're out, we're hunting for chicken, like this is what we're doing. And then there's my group of friends who I'm like, okay, let's go do bike stunts.
Yeah, right.
And
let's
like,
get on that tandem bicycle.
exactly, and
have
let's
a good
go
time.
race aqua rails or something.
So the final thing I want to talk about is cheaters. Not much to say here, and I'm actually going to pull the quote directly. We are continuing our daily work to combat cheaters due to the sensitive nature of the subject to maximize the impact that it can have. We won't be able to go into specifics on that plan. However, we're planning to keep you more up to date about our efforts as we have major victories to share. So, full confession, I stopped playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds maybe 2.5, 3 months ago. Just because there was a cheater every single game.
Yeah.
And my friends and I were all confined to the first-person queue. And the first-person mode is fun. I know a lot of people prefer it. I personally didn't feel that's where the game shined, and that's not where I really wanted to play it. Is the experience still as bad? Are you running into cheaters a lot? What's it like?
So I go between third and first. I was primarily third for a very long time. And then because of the cheaters, I got pushed to first and then realized that I personally prefer that mode so much.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so I only play first now. Occasionally I'll go back to third and then it used to be every single game. You're getting hacked, you're getting somebody's cheating against you. That is a lot better now. I find it's maybe once every 5-ish games, and it's very blatant when it happens.
Sure.
But the cheaters are even sneaking into first. I got like hip fired with a car no scope from like 300 meters away as I was in a car.
Sure.
And it's like, that's ridiculous, but it's very, very obvious, and I know that they're taking their reports seriously, which is good.
And the replay functionality is cool. I do think that this has given a scapegoat to a lot of people when they die and they feel like it's questionable to immediately report somebody, which is never good, but I don't know that there's a great answer to cheating. Like it either has to be preemptive or reactive, and certainly I think reactive is easier from a development standpoint, but so you feel that overall there is a lessened instance of cheating than there was 3 or 4 months ago?
I think so, yeah.
That's exciting. I might have to jump back in here soon, but it's actually time to get you playing the game right now. But first, we want to give a big thanks to our partners at MSI. We're going to be playing on one of their most recent laptops, which runs a GeForce GTX 1080 graphics card, features a per-key RGB mechanical keyboard, displays in 4K or 120 Hz with G-Sync, and features an advanced cooling system. Make sure you stay tuned later as we're also giving away a $500 Steam gift card. All right, it's time to get you behind the driver's seat playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, but first, let's take a look at some of your best moments from Twitch.
Oh! I got him.
Kate, don't get... Okay.
All right, Kate, you are in the hot seat. You are playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. You are dropping in as hot as possible into Pachinki, of all places. You are not playing on your home setup.
No.
This is going to be tough. You have one headphone cocked up her ear so she can hear me, and to make it even more difficult, I'm going to be grilling her with these expertly crafted PUBG trivia questions. So tell us about your philosophy early game, where you like to land. I imagine it's probably not pachinko most of the time.
It actually is.
Wow.
It's generally just spicy enough. Huh.
There we go. This is going to be a very interesting start of the match.
I was gonna say, it's just usually spicy enough where there's some people, but there's not this many people.
I think this is the entire plane. But there you go. I don't know that there is a much better start than an AK with 60 rounds. So right off the bat, here comes your first victim.
No. Oh.
Is there an upstairs?
Sweet.
There is.
Yeah.
That's okay. As long as they don't jump out.
Sorry, my key's getting stuck.
Okay, that's okay. Oh, first kill.
That's fine.
And of course we are in solo, so there is no going into a down state. You just flat out die. All right, here we go. It's time for the Trivia Blitz, the patented James Duggan Trivia Blitz. Number 1, where is the location of the original pre-match starting island on the Erangel map? Is it A, the northwest corner or top left, B, the northeast corner or top right, C, the northwest corner, or D, the northeast corner?
Northeast.
That is correct. Top right. So you've been playing since beta. What do you feel, if you had to rate them in terms of addressing bugs and fixing a game, not even adding new content, but just fixing what was already in the game, how well do you think Blue Hole has done?
I think they've done a great job. I think the community can be really hard on them. But I also don't think they really expected the game to blow up quite as quickly or as much as it did.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was what they had hoped for. I just don't think it's what they expected.
Number 2, name 2 of the 3 weapons which have a burst fire mode.
M16?
Correct.
Hump?
Correct. Do you want to go for the bonus internet point?
Vector?
The Vector is also correct. 3 out of 3. Don't get an extra point, but you do get my appreciation.
That's worth, I think.
That's better than a point.
Yeah.
There's a vehicle, looks like a...
Got a US.
Is it a US? Looks like a Dacia. I'm just far away.
I think they're probably going for the crate.
Ooh, ambush time. Here we go. Here we go. Number 3, how did players originally acquire the PlayerUnknown clothing set?
They needed to buy like a special version of the game.
I'll take it. Pre-order the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
That's more than any of the 5 coworkers that I asked got, so we'll take it. That's a point. What? Huh?
There wasn't
Have
even
you been dying?
There wasn't even a bomb.
All right, well, there you go. She got killed by an invisible bomb, so that's game 1 in the books. Well done.
Let's run it back.
Let's do it. Number 4, true or false, when originally added to the game, the VSS sniper rifle could be found in airdrop supply crates.
False.
The answer is true.
Really?
Yep. Tell me about your thought process. Do you generally drop into pachinko?
I do like dropping pachinko, yeah. That's actually a lot less spicy than I thought it was going to be. But it's
like 5. You got one in front of you as well.
Yeah, it's generally medium levels of spice.
Medium level.
Not school.
Sure.
We're not going.
Like a little bit higher than sriracha.
Yeah, exactly.
But not like a habanero thing.
No.
Sure.
We're not talking ghost peppers here.
Right.
And there's generally a good amount of loot, especially if you're here with a squad. If you're able to go through and actually win, then you're probably set for the game.
The 2x aimpoint scope possesses the lowest magnification power of any scope. Name the magnification of the most powerful scope in PUBG.
15.
That is correct. You have a crossbow. You're ready to fight.
I'm gonna try.
You have an optimal setup right now. Pump shotgun and a crossbow. Level 1s.
We're going all the way here.
This is a final circle setup already at pachinko.
Crossbow's actually, I think, really underrated.
Prove it. Intense. Ooh. Opting not to take the shot. You're not going to switch to the shotgun here. Oh my god, the crossbow kill! She proved it. It's a viable weapon.
I'm telling you, it's a viable weapon.
Wow, that was fantastic. Number 6, name the only weapon in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds which uses the 300 Magnum ammunition.
The
That is correct. AWM. Oh. Oh! Jesus. A little bit of, a little potato, but you got the kill, and that's what's important. The spray with the ump after the first, we'll call it a full second, is rough. Number 7, name 3 of the 4 melee weapons.
3 of the 4 melee weapons. Crowbar.
Correct.
Pan.
Correct.
Machete.
Correct. Can you name the 4th? It's a weird one.
Sickle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
There's 1 or 2 people around me right now.
Things are getting intense and pachinky. We already have a crossbow kill, an SMG kill. Oh!
I got out-umped.
The peak. Well, it was spicy.
It was.
It was fun. Let's keep it going. Your favorite Miramar. The superior map.
Let's
What are you
go
dropping?
Picado.
Picado. Number 8. Which of the following is not an ammunition type that appears in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? Is it A, 9mm, B, 45 ACP, C, 50 caliber, or D, 12 gauge?
50.
That's correct. Oh, that was disgusting. He had nothing. At least you were humane about it.
It was just quick.
You didn't BM, just
No,
bam,
no.
play another one.
It's like, you know what?
Same situation here. Bam,
Sorry.
play another one. What do you got?
Actually, not bad. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right.
All right. Things are looking spicy at Picado.
This is what I do,
favorite
is I
word.
drop here to not do anything good, and then this happens.
Damn. Number 9, name 3 of the 4 ways to heal past 75% HP.
3 of the 4 ways to heal past. Medkit,
Correct.
energy drink, painkiller, adrenaline syringe.
4 of 4, well done.
Where?
Somebody making
Somebody
running
just
sounds?
dropped.
What in the world? Nice pistol kill. That was a fantastic grouping. Let's bring that target in. Yep.
Thank you.
That is nice.
I appreciate that.
Number 10, Picado is a location on which map?
Miramar.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
hell.
dangerous, like engaging somebody who is further towards the circle at this point in the game, so.
This frag's going off in front of me.
Good situation, getting a little sandwich. There's a player, prone, kill, nicely done.
Oh.
Oh. The
There was-
M416 shot.
Well, there was the one from far back, and then there was the one who was right beside me.
That was a top 10, and you certainly
Yes,
had some moments. The bonus question. You've gotten 9 so far, so this could make it a perfect 10, and we just won't tell anybody this is a bonus question. And that would also be the record for hotkeys, may I say. True or false, PlayerUnknown gave rapper Post Malone a permanent ghillie suit after Post requested one in a tweet. Gotta make a guess.
False?
False is correct. You got 10 out of 10. 10 out of 11 technically, but the 10 is all that matters. So yeah, Sir Demetrius had 7, Alfredo had 8. You have 10. That makes you the trivia champion. Well done.
Yes.
So you played a few matches. You had a lot of awesome kills. Did you have a favorite?
It's got to be the crossbow kill.
It was disgusting. There was one shot. You had a shotgun and chose to use a crossbow at close range. But hey, I guess it all worked out. We're going to move on to a discussion about Fortnite and how it relates to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. But first, let's take a look at some of your best kills. All right, joining us is IGN's Destin Legary. You may recognize him from Fireteam Chat, where they complain about Destiny 2. And of course, Kate is back from the previous segments. So the question I want to pose to both of you, is Fortnite pulling ahead of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? And before we get into it, I want to throw some stats your way. First, let's talk about concurrent players. PUBG in January hit a peak of 3.1 million on Steam alone. And now it's kind of slouching around 2.5, 2.7, 2.4 million, which is still very good. And then Fortnite claims to have hit 3.4 million across PC as well as all consoles. And the PUBG stat is not including the Xbox version as well, so it's a little bit of an unfair stat. But I think the stat that really puts the nail in the coffin, or at least brings this argument into a valid place, is the Twitch numbers. Which, even before yesterday, in the recording of this, something astronomical happened last night on Twitch. With Ninja and Drake, and we'll talk all about that. But even before that, the PUBG peak concurrents were at 119,000 and Fortnite was at 318,000. And of course, last night, those numbers were completely obliterated. Kate, do you want to give us a rundown of what happened?
Yeah, so Ninja was streaming Fortnite as he does. Earlier that week, Drake, famous rapper, had contacted him on Instagram and said, "I've seen some of your clips. I'm a huge fan. I would love to set up a time that we could play together." They duoed and they got up just themselves around 550,000 people watching, and then from there it kind of snowballed. So Drake brought in Juju, who is a plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
yeah.
exactly. And then Kim.com came in because he's really good friends with Ninja, and then Travis Scott, another rapper. Yeah. They all got together, and it blew up. It was insane, and I think it got up to like 628,000 concurrents at its peak.
It was up there.
Post Malone also was trying to get in on the action, but could not swing it. Next time Post for sure. Destin, immediately following this, Fortnite, I think probably on a whim, decides they're going to release access to Fortnite Mobile. You just got to play it on a stream. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, so we were playing on an iPhone 6s. That's the lowest model that's available currently. They're going to come out on Android in a little bit, but you can play on the 6S up to the 10, obviously, because that's what's available, and it runs fairly well. So they're pulling ahead a little bit from PUBG in the areas that they're getting coverage and the areas where the game is accessible to other people. You said that PUBG is actually coming out on mobile also.
They released in Canada on the Google Play Store today. They're not on iOS just yet, and I'm not sure if it's released in the States, but it might be a bit of a competition thing with them.
For sure, and I think my first impressions looking at Fortnite on mobile, it's a game that's very well optimized. It runs at 60 FPS on all platforms, with the exception of mobile, or can you do it at 60 FPS?
Well, the mobile is outputting to our capture devices at 720/60, but I actually want to go and count the frames before I make that call.
Sure. But just in terms of it being on a phone, and this being a Battle Royale game on a phone, I think it looks really good. I've yet to see the PUBG version, but the other areas which I think that PlayerUnknown's is pulling ahead are the community outreach, the folks from Epic working with Ninja to get all of that sorted, as well as just the developer cadence of having a lot of clarity when it comes to discussing what content is coming up, why. I think the limited time events, we have yet to see one of those in PUBG with the exception of the GDC, or was it? Yeah, I think it was the GDC boxes, but anyway, there's no like 50v50, 20v20. Also, Fortnite is free to play. And I think
that's the big leg up, really, right?
It's a huge leg up, and it's getting to a point where it has reached this transcendence and is now kind of ingrained in popular culture. Obviously, that stream, it's also very controversial in like daily news media and is disseminating through the ranks of the American and probably international youth. And that's where I think it's really pulling ahead. I'm not so sure in terms of like the concurrent players. I wonder if the 2018 roadmap will fix that. So Kate, you're a Twitch streamer, you stream this every single day. PUBG, you stream PUBG every single day. Is there a pressure building for you to cover Fortnite or stream Fortnite?
I don't think so. I think the people who are there for PUBG are there for PUBG, and certainly some people come in and say, do you play Fortnite? Have you ever? And I have, and it was enjoyable, but it's just not personally for me. I think I've just always gone with play what makes you happy, play what you enjoy, and so I enjoy PUBG. I'm going to continue doing that, but I also don't think that there should be choose one or the other. I know people that play both. I know people that enjoy both, and I think that's great because video games are for enjoyment.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a competition.
Totally, and going back to this phenomenon that happened with Drake and that other guy, Ninja.
You know that like little streamer Ninja?
Yeah, the little streamer Ninja who has 1 billion subscribers. Yeah, so that was kind of crazy, and news outlets are going to report on that, and it's going to kind of transcend, like you said, across the board to more people. So more people are going to be knowing what Fortnite is, talking about Fortnite, and that's why I think it is pulling ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I think honestly the last time I can say that happened and that I was witness to it was maybe in like 2004 or 5, or it might have even been 6, when South Park released their Make Love Not Warcraft episode of World of Warcraft. I think that's when everybody knew this is going to be something that people are talking about for 10 years or more, and everybody will know it. So I think Fortnite has reached that point. I personally still enjoy PUBG more. I play PUBG more, but like you were saying, Kate, and you mentioned Destin, I think a rising tide lifts all ships, and this is really good for the Battle Royale genre in general.
Yeah, I love PUBG also. I love playing that game, but you can't deny what Fortnite is doing, obviously.
For sure. All right, Destin, thank you so much for joining us for the discussion. And Kate, thank you for suffering through the trivia and hopefully enjoying the discussion as well as the Let's Play. Where can we find more of you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kate Stark and over at twitch.tv/Kate.
How did you get that username? We'll never know, but you can check her out there. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You can find more Fortnite and PUBG on IGN, and for more PC gaming, tune into next week's episode of Hotkeys.